We are going to see a match between Brazil and Germany.
Yeah.
What are kind of some of the top-line features that people who love PES, what can they expect from this game when it comes out later this year?
Well, it's actually something that we're really proud of. After last year, we went 7 years without awards and we won loads in a row, 4 really big ones, one obviously from IGN. And that's really made us feel very confident in what we're doing. One of the key things that you're going to see straight off the bat is the visual improvement. And what we've done with that is using more of the Fox engine, bringing in key elements for lighting, animations, visuals, skin textures, kit textures as well.
Right.
It's something that we had a lot of feedback on.
Okay.
Similar, what people are seeing right now as well is a lot of the animation work that we've done with the players as well. No longer is there going to be any locking animations, there's no button delay, everything is extremely realistic. So we brought in a lot of linking animations, also coupled with real ball physics, which allows everything to be reactive. I'm going to keep going here because we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. With the animation work, also links into a new advanced collision system. Now, this is something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. It's extremely difficult to do it right because what will happen is, as you can see here, people battling for the ball. What will actually happen is people will sometimes fall unconvincingly or in a very OTT kind of way. You have to calculate everything super realistically, and it's something that we've managed to do this year for PES. Again, another thing that we're really proud of. Along with that collision system, so you can stop me whenever you want.
No, go for it.
Along with the collision system, we've got a new tackling system as well, so it goes hand in hand. What the tackling system does, it factors in where you are, where the opponent is, so you won't get the same animation. You'll get a different kind of interaction. Slide tackles, now you can take the ball, things like that. We've totally reworked it again based on some of the improvements that we had to make from last year, where everyone was loving the gameplay and we really focused on it. Yet there was these visual touches which also impacts the gameplay in a positive way.
Yeah. So here we're seeing a replay of Neymar taking a shot.
Absolutely, yeah. We've just announced Neymar as our global cover star, which we're really proud of. Mario Götze was fantastic for us for PES 2015, and we still want to, we're still working with him as well. And we'll talk more about that at Gamescom. But for our global pack, our lead cover star, it's Neymar, and you can see when you actually kick the ball, the grass coming up as well. That's another one of those visual effects that we've got going on as well. One thing that I actually want to highlight as well is how all the players are moving around. It's very alive now. We've got this new feature that we're calling Intelligent Player AI, which is just really basically, if you play football games, users will know when you want to do a 1-2 or you want to make a player make a run, you have to press a button, you have to do something to make it happen. Now we want the players to react accordingly, see space, move into space, join the attack. You'll see them put their hand up and it'll seem really alive and they just know what's going on.
Presumably, like if you're a very skilled player, you still have manual control over that?
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, you have manual control over everything that we're doing in the game. So along with those runs, you also have a lot of manual controls for dribbling with holding R2 and stuff, but we also make it so responsive and intuitive for the user that if with the animation work, the actual player will actually do a trick move depending on the situation. It will calculate the best possible time for it to happen, and so forth. One of the things that you're seeing actually during these demos, as this corner comes in and various corners coming in, is a lot of aerial battles. Here you can see players colliding and falling. Players will complain as well, and we're calling that the aerial one-on-ones, so you can actually move your player around, shove them out of the way. If you're a small guy, let's just say, I don't know, Ever against Mertesacker, one small guy, one really big guy, you're never going to win the ball, but you can unsettle them so they don't win the ball as well. So a lot of physicality in there.
So it's not kind of one or the other. It could you basically put them off, and then that ball becomes open, so somebody else can kind of scoop it out.
Absolutely, and again, this all comes down to the same single point. You can see a nice little trick move here from Neymar. Kills into the corner, but it just comes from the really nice. Actually, it's a really good point to focus on with the celebrations, as you can see here. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So for the PS4 in particular, to combine with the PS3 version as it has been for many years now. But for the first time on PS4, people can load in their images and create whatever kit they want.
Yes.
Let's just say.
Yes. So it kind of harks back to the old days when I used to play on PS2.
Absolutely. The emblems as well. You can also put manager pictures in there as well. And we've got a really cool new template, so you can get the kits looking amazing with all kind of logos wherever you want them.
Right. Okay. So we're seeing obviously Germany here have been pretty tough in defence. In terms of improvements to AI, are there any specifics that you can talk about there?
Yeah. So I mentioned the intelligent player AI, where your players will sort of run around. What we've done actually is, again, taken a lot of feedback from the fans and from just general users, is that the AI wasn't varied enough. It wasn't aggressive. Not a lot of fouls. They're always tackling perfectly. So we've really worked on this. So when you are playing as Germany, you'll notice Boateng is extremely aggressive, very strong, and takes the ball off you. And then you've got how they attack. Royce will get the ball down the wing. You'll get the wingers in various club teams like Barcelona, for example. They'll attack like Barcelona and hold the ball as well. So we've definitely worked on that.
So we've just taken a look at a first game played out in glorious sunshine. Now we're going to highlight some of the new rain effects that are coming in PES 2016.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we brought in last year was rain, but there was no gameplay impact, and that was one of the things that we want to change this year.
Okay.
Again, using more of the Fox engine, using more of the power, the weather effects that it can give us. What the user will actually see now is a little icon pops up where you can do some of your own animations. See Neymar, if you moving his hand away, you can trigger a trademark animation. As you might have seen in world football over the past season, different celebrations, and we'll have them in the game as well, and you can actually select them to be your trademark celebration in the game as well. Again, this is something that the fans wanted. They wanted to express themselves after they score a goal and really enjoy it, and we give them the option.
So some of the stuff that's happened in seasons around the world, we will see in this game. Might not be in there just yet, but we will see it when it comes out later.
That's right, yeah, we'll talk about it more later.
Gotcha. And actually, following on from that point, when can you kind of reveal more in terms of licensed teams and that kind of stuff?
We tend to use Gamescom as a really key point of our sort of window of when we're talking about the game just before launch. Licensing is a very interesting issue for PES, but just yesterday, as people are watching this video, we just announced re-signing the Champions League for another 3 years. There's a lot of rumours going around that we might have lost it. There's a lot of rumours around Konami in general, but that was fantastic for everyone to hear, because it showed that, we're in this for the longer run. We've got a huge license and we just signed it. Aside from the Champions League, as you mentioned, everything else will be announced at Gamescom.
Okay. And one of the things that you did mention is, which was missing from last year's game, was editable options files.
The effects haven't been the strongest thing in PES.
Yeah.
So it's been fed back for many years. Fans probably getting frustrated with us, and for this year we've gone all the way to making it look and have a huge impact on gameplay.
But importantly, at the same time, you don't want those weather effects to get in the way of how PES plays.
Yeah, very well put. And I think that's something that has always actually stopped us from going too far, maybe, and really thinking about rain and exactly how it can impact, because more often than not, you're right, it can have a very negative impact on gameplay. So we've tried to balance it. We do want it to have an impact. You can see here as we zoom in exactly how it looks. It's fantastic, but we don't, as you mentioned, don't want to hurt the experience. Especially, one of the things that we announced as well is dynamic weather. So especially you'll feel it in Master League as well.
Yeah.
Is that you'll be in the season and during a match suddenly it'll start to rain.
Okay.
What you don't want that to be is like, oh no, it's raining. Yeah, you might feel that way because you want to play that passing game.
Yeah.
But we still want you to play that passing game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, have that impact that you are playing in rain, guys. Now you're going to have to probably play a little bit aerial, a little bit change it. But it varies the gameplay, it varies the challenge. how they perform, but also with the penalties, so you can sort of point to the corners depending on who it is, or point differently, a bit more arrogantly. For
Right.
example, see if they're really confident, like Neuer, usually is before he conceded that goal. But we've tried to bring in those kind of elements to it, and just naturally as well, because of the physicality system, because of the new aerial battles.
Yeah.
What you'll find is that it might be the same, it might look the same, you still, but yeah, don't want to make it frustrating at all.
Gotcha. And in terms of like, what other improvements can we see? Like, are there improvements to set pieces, corners, free kicks, that kind of stuff?
Sure, yeah. So with the free kicks, we've brought in a lot of player ID. Player ID. I spoke about the animations this year. 3 times more animations. You got the players looking and moving differently. Goalkeepers looking and moving differently. And same with the actual set pieces as well. What you've got with the set pieces is players like Neymar, players like Pirlo, who can take that free kick far more accurately. You'll struggle, you'll have to be far more skilled if you're not with those guys. So we've made it a little bit easier to see where to go and how to hit it. With the penalties, we've given the goalkeepers, as I mentioned, some ID and exactly